Majority Leader,
Mr. President.
Senator Cayetano is recognized.
Mr. President, will the lady yield to some questions?
Mr. President, I believe that a privileged speaker has also the privilege to decline an interpellation. Precisely as a privileged speech is not a sponsorship of any bill or resolution. So I respectfully decline. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker,
Senator
Mr.
Cayetano.
President, it is indeed the right of any senator or speaker to decline. But traditionally, I think in my 18 years in Congress, this is only the third time that someone who gave a privileged speech declined. Having said that, I want to welcome our able lawyer, the lawyer of our Senate President and my lawyer to the Senate, former Justice Secretary and now Senator De Lima. Since she will not yield to some questions, I ask for a few minutes to rise on a question of personal and collective privilege.
There is a motion to recognize Senator Cayetano to speak on a matter of personal privilege. Is there any objection? There being none, Senator Cayetano is recognized. Please proceed, sir.
Mr. President, the good senator and former Justice Secretary talked about a new normal. Before we go to that point, let us go to the old normal. I don't live in a subdivision, just like President Duterte. I live in 209 Pasong Calabao Street, Bagumbayan, Taguig. So whatever our tricycle drivers, our vendors, kapitbahay namin, simbahan ng may Christian church, may Iglesia ni Cristo. So yung nangyayari sa kalye, nararamdaman namin mag-asawa. Of course, we're more privileged to have our security. My wife is the mayor of our city. But we do feel what is happening. Dati po, walang magawa ang tao sa pusher. Pag ang pusher na nampal ng tricycle driver, ang pusher na sa patay, sasampalin yung nandun sa monte o sakla o terembe, kung ang pusher may bodyguard pa na pulis, wala rin silang magawa kung ang isang ale na alas 5 ng umaga nagra-rush papasok ay bastusin ng mga halos tulog na dahil lasing pero nakadroga din sa kalye. Wala din pong magawa ang tao pag binabastos sila midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, umiilag na lang or magte-text kahit natulog na yung tatay, tulog na yung asawa, gigisingin para sunduin lang yung anak. Minsan, hindi papapasukin pagka late ang activities sapagkat the reality is there was no security. Walang safety sa bahay. No? And every now and then, in any barangay you go to in Metro Manila and many highly urbanized cities around the country, magigising ka na lang kasi may ninakawan, bulong-bulungan na ni-rape. Pag nalaman ko sino, kapatid, nag-rape sa kapatid. Tiyuhin, ni-rape yung pamangkin. Yung isang halos pamilya o inampon nila bilang pamilya na 20 years na nasa bahay nila, ni-rape ang kanilang anak. That was the normal. In our city, we tried to do something about it. When I was still a bachelor, ginising ako dahil may pulis, sinampal yung tricycle driver. Pinahabol ko. Nalaman ko na yung pulis na yon, paikot-ikot lang. Pag drug test sa Muntinlupa, lilipat sila ng Parañaque. Pag nag-drug test sa Parañaque, lilipat ng Pasig. Drug test sa Pasig, lilipat ng Makati. Ito, small time lang sa baba na pusher. Pero marami ding customer, user din. Madaling sabi po, napakulong. Alam mo yung barangay captain, kahit unconstitutional, pinatawag lahat ng pusher sa barangay. Full force dumating. Katulad sa nangyayari ngayon na nag-surrender. Pinapirma niya, unconstitutional, pero pinapirma niya na hindi na sila magbebenta. Pirmahan sila. 1 month later po, nakawala, nakapiansa yung pulis. umikot kasama ng may M16 siyang dala, may mga kasama siya, siguro 100, 200 feet away from our house. Umikot-ikot, sinasabi, sinong batang congressman na yan? Kung yung mga dati hindi ako natigil, yan pa kaya? Alam mo, pinatawag nung kapitan, yung mga pusher, wala na pong pumunta. Several years later, a decade later, my wife became mayor. May hinuli na pusher. In family name, 7 others with the same family name nahuli before. 5, 6, 7. NBI, PIDEA, lahat napakawalan at different stage. So nung nahuli to, ang sabi niya, pag hindi niyo ako pinakawalan, in 1 week tanggal kayo. In 1 week, nire-relieve yung opisyal na nakahuli sa kanya. Ako mismo tumawag sa Southern Police District. Sabi, sir, prino-promote namin. Ay, kung saan nyo nilalagay? Hindi makasagot. General, di ako pinanganak kahapon. Huwag nyo kaming lolokohin. Yung mismong pusher nagsabi na ipalilipat siya. Anong sabi ng general? Sir, yung tumawag sa akin, meron sa judiciary, meron pong general, meron pong legislature. But just like the good Justice Secretary and now our colleague, I believe in life. Regalo ng Panginoon ang buhay ng bawat isa valuable. I think I'm one of the few politicians who have projects in many jails. Together with Brother Joel Villanueva, kapwa natin senador and birthday celebrant today, nagtayo kami ng computer school sa Taguig City Jail, sa Metro Manila Integrated Jail at Cebu City Jail. Sir President, 40 to 60% na nakakulong doon, drug-related. What is my point? Yung point po nung araw, ang pusher hindi mahuli. Pag nahuli, napakawalan. Pag ang pulis hindi pumayag pakawalan, pakakawalan ng piskal. Kung yung piskal at pulis mabuti at hindi pinakawalan, yung judge papakawalan. Kung yung judge, piskal, at saka yung pulis mabuti, makakawala sa kulungan. Pagka nakulong sa National Penitentiary, may jacuzzi, pwede magdala ng babae at lalaki, may banda, may aircon. Kaya mga kaibigan ko sa abroad, nasabi ang Pilipinas, hindi nakakapagsabayan sa mga 5-6 star. Sabi ko, hindi totoo yun, ha? Ang aming penitentiary, 5 star. Kami lang ata may ganun sa buong mundo. And to give credit to our colleague, ilang beses niya ni-raid and ilang beses na sinubukan niya, no? If the problem was too big for the Aquino administration and the secretary, siya mismo po nagsabi kanina, it was just too big, no? But this president that you supported, Mr. President, that I supported, took it on. Sabi niya, titignan ko sa mata ang mga pusher na to at hindi ko sila aatrasan. Never ko po narinig sa kanya na sabihin yung walang laban, patayin. I sympathize with the former Justice Secretary and our colleague kung pinagbibintangan siya na wala namang facts. Hindi ko po alam. Pinakinggan ko lang yung sinabi niya. Kung gumagawa ng conclusion na mali, I sympathize with her. At kung attack to sa Senado, hindi dapat. Pero, nung sinabi niya, 7-year-old nagra-rugby, and then sasabihin niya, binaril ng polis, wala pa naman ako nababalitaan na polis na binaril ang 7-year-old na nagra-rugby. Di ba? Yung sabihin 9 years old, etc., no? Hindi ko alam yung circumstance niya. At never sinabi ng ating Pangulo na kapag ka may summary killing or murder ay hindi paparusahan. In fact, ang sinabi niya, patay kayo sa aking mga pulis kayo pag umabuso kayo. At sinabi po niya na palalakasin niya yung internal checks ng police to make sure that not only do they not murder people, but that they're not involved in drugs. Because the reality is, ang PNP mismo ay nagamit din at ginagamit pa rin ng mga pushers. So, our colleague then jumped to conclusions by saying, ganito na karami ang patay sa police operations, pero alam naman natin ng mga police, I have to paraphrase because I didn't write down exactly, but sinasabi niya may rub out din. But isn't that jumping to conclusions? Meron po tayong presumption of regularity. Hindi ko sinasabi na lahat yan regular, pero may presumption. Sabi niya, meron daw dapat presumption of innocence. Eh, hindi ba presumed innocent ang police? Pagka napatay niya yung pusher dahil lumaban, may barel, Sa amin po syudad, yung bago namin, hindi pa siya, acting pa lang siya ngayon, hindi pa siya regular na chief of police. Pumunta po sa mayor, sa asawa ko, kwento sa amin. Sabi niya, ma'am, pipilitin ko ikulong at hulihin lahat ng pusher. Pipilitin ko na walang patay. After a few weeks, pinakamarami kaming huli sa buong Metro Manila, walang patay. And then may napatay na isa. Alam niyo bakit, Mr. President? Naglabas ng granada eh. Anong gagawin mo? Babarilin mo sa kamay, edi pag nabaksak yung granada, patay lahat ng laman ng bahay, pati yung pulis. And then recently, 3. Kasi may mga firearms at makikipagbarilan sa lahat. Sabi nung iba, kailangan proportional. Kopong-kopong pa ho yun. Yung sinasabing proportional, hindi na po yan ang standard sa Japan, sa France, sa Europe, sa UK. Ngayon po, nung araw po, pagka binaril ka, may yung pusher o yung kidnapper may baril, nagbaril ka rin, o barilin mo muna to maim. Diba? Maim. So, baril mo sa shoulders, baril mo sa hita para dumapa. Hindi na po ganun yun ngayon. Right now, pag bumunot ka laban sa law enforcers, they can shoot and they can shoot to kill. Bakit? Dahil sa panahon po ngayon ng terorismo, sa panahon po ngayon na sabog, at hindi na nasa tamang issue, nasa tamang pag-iisip, ang mga pusher, hindi mo alam kung magpapasabog yon or kung yung M16 niya, bigla na lang babarilin lahat. So ngayon, bago po ang rule. Kailangan pa rin sabihin, mga pulis kami, NBI kami, PDEA kami, ibaba ang gamit. Raid to, o kaya ito'y buy-bust operation, kailangan mo pa rin magpakilala. You have to give them an opportunity to surrender. Tama po tayo doon. At kung meron kayong mapakita na gano'n ang ginawa, na sumusurrender, at hindi pinayagan sumurrender pero baril, i-charge natin ng murder yung mga pulis. Pero kung wala, at spekulasyon lang yon, kawawa naman po mga pulis. Kung kailan sila may backup ngayon, kung kailan sila hindi kinukulit ng mga general, manghuli kayo, patay kayo sa amin. Kung kailan walang mga mayayaman na pusher ngayon na nagsasabi sa kanila, ang pulis walang abogado, kami may abogado. Marami pong hindi may alam, ang pulis, pagka nasuspinde o kinasuhan, walang sweldo, paano pakakainin ng pamilya? Pero ang pusher, lahat ng abogado pwede niyang i-hire. So, Mr. President, it is good and it is right to stand up and say, hey, hindi pwede vigilante, hindi pwede summary killings, hindi pwedeng murder. It is correct to stand up and say, police, make sure you follow the rules. Pero kung mali, na pagbibintangan mo ang ating dating Justice Secretary ng mali, mali din naman po siguro, pag nagagawan mo ng story ang mga pulis, nasasabihin mo ngayon, summary killings. Bakit po napakarami ng pinapatay ngayon? Actually po, hindi marami, konti pa eh. Kasi po, hindi ko sinasabi na kailangan mas maraming mapatay. Ang sinasabi ko, kailangan matigil ang droga at kailangan po mawala na ang ibang mga pusher. Bakit po? 3 million po ang pusher eh. Ang addict. So sabihin mo na po, sa bawat 1,000 addict, isang pusher. 1 pusher, 1,000 addicts. So you have 300,000 pushers. Ang problema po sa pushers, mahigit kalahati sa kanila, gumagamit din. At mahirap sa gumagamit, marami sa kanila armado. So kung ikaw ay gumagamit, ikaw ay pusher, ikaw ay durog, at bigla kang inanong barel, ang feeling mo, hindi pulis yun. Meron tayo during the campaign, Mr. President, kung alam mo, yung isa, tatay niya ang pinatay niya. Kasi ang nakita daw niya, nung nakasyabu siya, demonyo daw nakita niya. Di niya alam na tatay niya pinapatay niya. Demonyo daw. Sa amin pong twin town, pero yumaon na yung mga tao. Anak na nakadroga, binaril din ang sariling tatay. May katungkulan po yung tatay. That's the reality on the ground. No? So, what did our President say during the inauguration? Sabi niya, Commission on Human Rights, Congress, you do your job, I do mine. Di naman niya sinabi na wag mag-imbestiga ang Commission on Human Rights. Sinasabi niya, pag nag-imbestiga kayo, tama na muna media, ilabas niyo kung may conclusion na kayo. And dami-daming violation nung eleksyon Ang tinignan yung kwento ni Presidente, di ba? Nagkaroon pa sila ng ruling. Samantalang napakaklaro, he was telling a story 20 years ago. They could have come out with a decision that the mayor, we do not agree of how he said it, but this is an incident 20 years ago. So if I tell you a story now that was 20 years ago, And I'm just telling you, sasabihin ngayon ng Commission on Human Rights, I'm politically incorrect at mali ako, etc. Ganyan. They did not need to investigate. They just had to look at the President's answer. He was mayor at that time. The same thing that's happening now. We are making conclusions because it is an emotional issue. I do not know the facts about the death of the professor in Ateneo. I hope to God, I pray to God, and if I can do anything to catch the killer, count me in. I am also an Atenean. I heard that there is an element of robbery. Kung rob out yan, kung extrajudicial killing yan, by all means. Pero the way it is being blended and weaved by the media and by some human rights group is as if ito'y utos ng Pangulo at ito'y gusto ng Pangulo. May I direct your attention, ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, Mr. President at mga kababayan, to countries where there was a drug war, katulad ng Colombia. Nung nagsimula i-wipe out ang drug cartels, they turned on themselves. Marami sa vigilante killings dito ay siya din galing sa mga drug lords at sa mga drug rings in the area. Kasi sila may hawak ng ebidensya against each other. Sila magkalaban. Mismong sa mga pulis eh. Kung yung pulis, dating protector ng drugs, at dati naman pumapatay, kung ikaw yung pulis na yon, hindi mo unahan, papatayin mo na yung drug lord mo. Kasi baka pag nagsumbong ka pa kay presidente, pati ikaw, dali ka rin. Is the president excusing this? No. But this is an internationally known strategy that even international, I will not name them here, but international drug enforcement agencies promote intrigue among drug lords. Now, is it still murder? Yes. Should we still investigate it? Yes. But should we blame the administration and blame the police? Ngayon na ang mga drug lords hindi na monopoly, hindi nagkakaisa, ngayon na sila nagpapatayan, sasabihin po natin na kasalanan to ng presidente. You know, one peculiar statistic that I did not hear today is that there is a 13% drop in crime. Kasi ang tinitignan natin patay yung yung human rights or bleeding hearts, who I respect, who I help out, you come to my office, tutulungan ko kayo. Pero parati ko po sinasabi sa mga kaibigan ko na ganito ang pananaw, paano naman yung mga nag-overdose? Paano naman po yung 17 anyos, 16 anyos, solong anak, ang magulang nag-OFW, iniwan ang pamilya, makapag-aral lang, binentahan ng droga, nag-overdose, patay. O yun, wala sa radar nyo, wala sa human rights yun. O, paano naman yung isang barkada na binangga ng kotse kasi durog yung driver, patay silang lahat. O, wala rin naman sa radar yun eh. Wala rin naman sa summary killings yun eh. Di ba? So, I know you are equally as upset. Dahil tao din kayo eh. Meron din kayo mga kamag-anak kilala na involved sa droga eh. Na biktima din ng droga. No? So yes, let us confront these issues of killings. Let us invite the Chief PNP here. Let us ask him how they are monitoring the police. Let us ask him how they're investigating it. It's my 18th year. Alam mo, in a few weeks, we'll inaugurate only the second crime lab of the country. Panahon pa po ni Presidente Arroyo, sinisingit ko parati, trinatry ko isingit sa budget. Huwag po magagalit sa akin si Senator Ping. Hindi po pork barrel yon, kung hindi insertion or it is an advocacy, no, that he also believes in, na magkaroon tayo ng crime lab. So, if there are some critics who said, bakit naman umpisa pa lang hearing na sa extrajudicial killing? Because there are many people suffering. Bakit hindi muna tayo mag-hearing na itaas ang sweldo ng pulis? Ba't hindi mo tayo mag-hearing kung paano protektahan ng mga piskal para hindi sila at the mercy of drug lords at may additional allowance sila at kung kailangan nila ng equipment like bulletproof vest, kailangan nila yung opisina nila mas secure, ba't hindi yun ang una natin hearing? Crime labs. So, Mr. President, this is a democracy. Just because certain members of the administration are saying hindi dapat ito unahin na Senate na investigasyon, that doesn't mean it's an attack on the Senate. It is freedom of speech. It is simply saying sa laki ng problema at dami ng problema, siguro, i-monitor natin, oversight sa human rights, pero in the same manner that our colleague is appealing, listen first, investigate first before judging her. Let me make the same appeal for our president, but actually he doesn't need it. Let me make the same appeal for the PO1s of this country. Those who are making 15,000 pesos only when the cost of living is 25,000 to 35,000 in our major cities. Those PO1s who we tell, hulihin mo ang pusher. Those PO1s who we tell na pag may barel, labas mo rin baril mo, barilin mo rin. Those PO1s who sometimes come home in a casket, or kung hindi man sa casket in the old administrations, not just the Aquino administration, in many administrations, would come home, nilabanan ang sindikato, anong baon nila pag-uwi? Suspension. At sasabihin sa asawa, wala silang gagawin. So I'm not against investigations, Mr. President, but we have limited time. Napakalaki ng opportunity natin to build this nation. So it's up to each and every chairperson. And I believe in every one of you. Ano bang uunahin ninyo? Now, if the former Justice Secretary and our colleague can come up with facts and not speculation, there are facts, as in the killings. But inimbestigahan din ba niya na isa to? Or is she telling us, ayaw imbestigahan to ng polis? Kasi kung ayaw to imbestigahan ng polis, ibang usapan yun. Pero kung iniimbestigahan to ng polis at hindi pa tayo kompleto sa facts, and then we will go into that kind of hearings, it is for all of us to ask ourselves now, yan ba ang pinaka-importanting gawin natin ngayon? Yan ba ang pinaka-urgent? And let me also pose this question to all of us, Mr. President. Hindi lang naman po yung mga pulis ang nakabantay at nanonood sa atin ngayon. Nanonood ang mga drug lords. So if there's unintended consequences, like for example, I don't think the Justice Secretary intended to attack the Senate when he attacked one member. But I do know what you mean, my dear colleague, because once upon a time, I was in the opposition and I felt that an attack on me was an attack on the whole Senate. But the police are watching, the NBI is watching, PDEA is watching, the OFWs are watching, and we have to also be careful. If we think, Mr. President, na may hate campaign against the human rights, how do you think the police feel? How do you think the President feels? How do you think the PDEA, the NBI, etc.? Lahat na lang ng jokes tungkol sa politiko, sa police, at saka sa abogado. Lahat ng masasamang jokes. They're the butt of jokes. We're the butt of jokes. We have all the power and resources for image building, Mr. President. The police does not have this. So let me end there, Mr. President, and while welcoming our colleague and committing to her that we will not allow anyone to attack the Senate or destroy the Senate or to stop any senator from conducting their investigation or attending an investigation. It is also left up to us to decide what is most important, how we use our time, and it is up to us to make sure na yung unintended consequence of telling the police, tumigil-tigil muna kayo. Wala pa hong nangyayari. Lastly, Mr. President, naunahan na nga tayo ng Malacanang. Many of our colleagues here, which both of us talked to during the last 3 months, have told us, Senator Soto, Senator Recto, Senator Gordon, many of you have proposed rehab centers. You predicted. The President continues to be amazed that more than 100,000 people are surrendering. Ang problema, anong gagawin mo sa mga nagsusurrender? Mga to, yung iba user lang, yung iba addict. Yung addict, pagka walang pupuntahan, babalik at babalik kahanap ng droga. Ang problema, Mr. President, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, shabu is now 200 to 400% more expensive than it was a month ago. In some places, it's 1,000% more expensive, which is good news in the sense that many people will stop and cannot have money, but it's also bad news because the addicts who are violent will rob, will steal, will try to get money to feed their habit. That's why the rehab centers are also urgent. So these are the points that I'd like to attach to the speech of our colleague. Yes, let's stand up for human rights. Yes, let us not allow any unjustified killings. Yes, let us not accuse falsely or let us not accuse without a factual background any senator, but let's also not accuse the police, especially the PNP as an organization, of rub-outs until we have evidence. And when we do have evidence or we have a smoking gun or even just smoke, kung sasabihin natin where there's smoke, there's fire, let's isolate it. So if it was one event here in Pasay, one event in Davao, yun ang sabihin natin. Pero sabihin natin, yung mga polis, o alam naman na polis rub out, no? Tayo, galit tayo pag sasabihin, lahat ng politiko corrupt eh. Tapos we will do the same sa police. Anyway, Mr. President, I bid you a good afternoon and thank you for this opportunity.